said on Bethany's Frank Call that she thinks that she's always seen violence in James, and she too said, "What is the deal with Doute?" And basically also said, now she gets the Valley. I don't know about that. I mean, it wasn't like Kristen was fired and then right away we started the Valley. It was Kristen was fired and she was fired, and Scandal happened. And go listen to my podcast chat with Jax, because 2 years, 3 years before, whatever it was, Jax was trying to get a daddy daycare, Daddy Jax show off the ground in the Valley. Nobody wanted it. And then Scandal happened and everybody won. So I'll die on the hill of the Valley was greenlit because of Scandal. That's why Jax is back. Jax should thank Tom. Doesn't really matter. It is what it is. Welcome to Hollywood. But he was talking about this show for years and a long time before when no one wanted it. So there's that. So I don't think I disagree with Rachel here. I don't think she was rewarded for that because she was off for a really long time. I find Allie's statements the most confusing. Is PR involved? I don't know. By the way, Allie herself has not really confirmed this. She's made a statement, which we'll read. She's not really confirmed this. I mean, look, if you pick me up and you throw me to the ground, or you pick up someone in my inner circle, I would be making every statement against this man possible. I mean, at that point, to me, I wouldn't give a fuck about the network. I wouldn't give a fuck about my future, as far as a career. I would just be like, this person fucking picked me up and threw me to the goddamn ground. Here is my statement. Let me tell you exactly what happened. I would probably do it on this damn podcast. And I don't give a shit about evolution, Bravo, Lisa fucking Vanderpump. That would be me if I was thrown to the goddamn ground in this world that we live in. I would say, I don't care about any statement or PR or anything. This monster threw me to the fucking ground. There you go. That's what I would say. So I find the fact that Allie herself has not said James did this. And we're going to read her vague at best answer, her statement, but that is not the same to me as saying this person did this. I wouldn't give a shit about politics, networks, statements, PR. I would be like, let me make this very clear for everyone out there that is going through something and suffering at the hands of anything domestic violence wise or abuse. This person did this to me, period. Let me be very clear about what they did. I would lay it out there. So I find that very interesting and strange that she has not said James did this to me. Also, that's where, to me, it's alleged. I think he did this. I do, but it's just so confusing that it's this vague. There is an amount of vagueness to this that I think should be cleared up. That's just me. Her statement says, "Thank you to everyone who has reached out with love and support and for checking in on me. I'm okay and taking the time I need right now. I deeply appreciate all the kindness and respect for my privacy during this time." Great statement. Would love to know who wrote it. Sure, you're talking about this. I think it should be clear. That's just me. And I think this is not, I don't know, but it's okay. I mean, if to each his own. I think what is strange is that, I mean, her family is now in town. She has moved out. There are pictures of him helping her move out. She's in an Airbnb. She's going back to Ohio, which was already planned before the holiday. So she's going back. My sources that I have checked now, of course, things could change by the day, but my sources that I have spoken to today say that she is leaving Ohio at the end of the holidays, whether that is, the 26th or staying through New Year's or January 15th, whenever it is that the holiday in Ohio is over with the family, is leaving Ohio and is coming back to LA and is moving back in. That's what I've heard. Now, this is a developing story and anything could change and anything could happen. But this is where we hear that she's staying with him, standing by him. She still made this statement. That's where it's confusing. You're standing by this person, but you're making this statement. I mean, so I agree with Leviss on this. The amount of times that she's convinced herself that is a misunderstanding, that is so interesting to me. I mean, run, 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 run. If this happened, run. Don't ever go back. What are you doing? My sources tell me when Ohio is over, she's coming back to LA and she's going back to him. So that's just me. We'll see. It's a developing story. She is going to Ohio. I don't know what. I mean, let's be stereotypical. We could start with just the father. We could say family, mother, but what father would let his daughter? We could say mother, brother, whatever. I mean, you can't stop people. It's like what I say about Kim Richards. When someone doesn't want to get clean, you can't throw them in rehab. It won't work. But man, oh man, do some. I mean, have a plan when you get home, and it's hard. I'm not blaming the family, but man, do whatever you got to do to get her away from, no one should stay with someone that does something like this. If he did it, I don't get outraged. Everyone gets on their soapbox and, oh, we always knew James was a bad guy. It's too much dramatics for me. I just like to deal with the facts. It's strange that will this cancel him? I don't know. He DJ'd this weekend. And his rep is the same rep as Paulie D. Just like when just like when Rinna had the same rep as Paris Hilton. I mean, she doesn't anymore. But and I love Rinna. But James's rep, I think there was a rumor that he lost some gigs in Vegas, but he DJ'd this weekend, and rumor is he's still opening for Paulie D starting in February. Him and Paulie D share the same rep. Now, look, if Paulie D goes to the rep and says, I don't want this guy opening for me anymore, I assume the rep is going to choose Paulie D. Maybe she'll still rep both, but she'll just say, listen, I've got a hard conversation to have with you. You're not opening anymore for Paulie D. I think with one phone call, Paulie D could get James off the opening act bill. Look, is it making Paulie more money? Is the room filled further now easily because of DJ James Kennedy from Vanderpump Rules? If so, I ain't sure Paulie's going to make that call. If people are coming to see Paulie regardless, and, the next person could open up. I mean, Paris Hilton isn't opening up for Paulie D. But, if the next DJ can open up, yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't make that call if you were Paulie D and just say, like, get me someone else. I don't need this guy opening for me. Rumor is he's still going on the tour with Paulie starting in February. We will see. It's a continuing story. And as I leave you, and they have the same rep, I just want to know about the others. You have a podcast, Lala. You have a podcast, Sheena. You have a podcast, Katie. Y'all seem to go on each other's podcasts. Doute, you have a podcast. Jax, you have a podcast. Brittany, you have a podcast. Now is the time. Let's just face it. Michelle's going to have a podcast. Lally's going to have a podcast. Give Janet a podcast. Give Zach a podcast. Give them all a podcast. Apparently, that's where we're headed. But where is it? And by the way, I don't know if she wants to talk about this, but Rachel goes rogue. Cash in, do a podcast episode. I mean, really, what I'm trying to say is I want to know what Lala thinks about her bud. I want to know what this one thinks. And let's just face it. I want to know what Andy thinks. And let's face it. Number one, I want to know what Lisa Vanderpump thinks. I mean, Lisa just did so many interviews for the opening of Pinkies. She ain't doing no interviews now, but let's face it, the next person that interviews Vanderpump is going to ask about this. Maybe it'll be us. Who knows? But I want to know what LVP says to this. That's what I want to know. She was just saying, I was just saying too, who is going to be the least affected with Vanderpump being canceled? Ariana, of course. But I said, James, look, he has a real career. I don't know anymore. But Vanderpump was just saying that he changed the most and Lala changed the most. Guys, this is just a quick hit. We'll talk more about this at our next quick hit. We got so much more to cover. Brandy, and there's so much going on. And oh my God, Beverly Hills, I got to go. I love you all. I hope you guys like this. There, I broke my silence, so to speak. That's what everyone's been saying in the DMs. When are you going to talk about this? There you go. Love you all. It's all about you. It's not about me. Don't kid yourselves. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.